Welcome back to Coin Explorer, where ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures. Today, we're diving into not one, but two South African coins that appear deceptively common, yet hold stories and values that could leave you speechless. Imagine pulling out a dusty coin album or rummaging through an old drawer and stumbling upon a piece of metal that could be worth not just hundreds, but possibly millions of dollars. We're talking about the 1990 South African 2 Rand and the mysteriously rare 2004 edition, both minted during turning points in South Africa's history, and both hiding secrets that have collectors across the globe scrambling to find them. From minting errors to political transitions, from rare design features to auction shockers, this isn't just numismatics. It's a treasure hunt you never knew you were already part of. So buckle up, because what lies ahead might just change the way you see every coin in your pocket. Top 1. Today, we're uncovering a coin that might seem like just another piece of metal at first glance, but behind its modest appearance lies a story, a legacy, and a potential value that could blow your mind. Ready for this? The 2004 South African 2 Rand coin has quietly become one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures out there, with experts hinting at values that could change lives. Before you scroll past that jar of coins or toss that old change into a drawer, pause. This is not just any coin. This is a gateway into South Africa's complex history, a symbol of transformation, and a rarity whose value is only just beginning to be understood. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a 2 Rand coin the same way again. Let's start by peeling back the layers of this remarkable coin. The 2004 South African 2 Rand coin may look familiar. It's made primarily of nickel-plated copper, a sturdy, lustrous alloy designed to endure daily transactions and the wear of time. Measuring 26 millimeters in diameter and weighing about 6 grams, it fits perfectly in your hand, but what it carries is much larger than its size. On the obverse side, you'll find the iconic springbok antelope, a creature that embodies South Africa's natural heritage and resilience. This image is more than decoration. It's a powerful emblem, one that has adorned South African currency for decades, reflecting pride, endurance, and the nation's spirit. The lettering surrounding the springbok spells out South Africa in one of the country's 11 official languages, which in 2004 was part of a rotating series, adding an extra layer of collectability. Flip the coin to the reverse, and you're met with the numeral 2 boldly etched above the word Rand. Simple? Yes. But within this simplicity lies a world of numismatic intrigue. From subtle design variations to minute errors in minting, things that might escape the untrained eye, the 2004 2 Rand coin has become a beacon for collectors hunting for those elusive traits that can transform a common coin into a prized gem. Now, why is this particular coin stirring up so much excitement in collector circles? To understand, we have to rewind to the early 2000s, a time when South Africa was still navigating its path in the post-apartheid era. The year 2004 marked not just another minting cycle, but a moment in South Africa's evolving identity reflected in the coins it released. While most coins circulated widely, rumors began to surface about limited runs, subtle design differences, and rare minting quirks that could turn ordinary coins into extraordinary finds. One of the most talked-about features among collectors is the variation in the mint marks and the subtle shifts in the springbok's positioning on the obverse side. Some coins from 2004 show a springbok that seems slightly offset, or lettering that's faintly irregular. These minute deviations may be the result of minting errors, experimental dyes, or limited batch runs, all of which dramatically increase a coin's rarity. And here's the kicker. The South African Mint never officially released any special edition or commemorative version of the 2004 2 Rand coin. So, these variations appear like hidden gems, almost like accidental treasures dropped into circulation. This mystery only adds to the coin's allure, making each specimen a potential puzzle piece for collectors to examine and cherish. What makes this coin story even more fascinating is the incredible condition many of these rare finds maintain, because the 2004 Rand coins were minted during an era when circulation patterns were changing, with electronic transactions rising and cash usage shifting. Many of these coins were quietly set aside by individuals, never fully entering heavy circulation. This has led to unusually high-grade examples surviving decades later, with surfaces almost pristine and details sharply defined. Imagine finding a coin that looks brand new, with a mint-state shine, yet carries the weight of history and mystery. That's the dream of every numismatist, and it's precisely why the 2004 Rand coin is capturing imaginations worldwide. But rarity and condition alone don't explain the full story. There's also the emotional and historical connection embedded in this coin. Each Rand piece from 2004 carries with it the hopes, challenges, and stories of a nation redefining itself. It's a symbol of resilience, progress, and cultural pride. Collectors often say that coins are time capsules. They hold moments frozen in metal, stories waiting to be discovered. This Rand coin is no different. Its very existence tells a tale of South Africa's journey into a new millennium, marked by change, promise, and the relentless march forward. Now, let's talk specifics. The material. The 2004 Rand coin is struck from a copper-nickel alloy, combining durability with a bright silvery sheen that resists tarnishing. This composition has made it a favorite among those who appreciate coins that withstand the test of time without losing their luster. The design, credited to talented artists at the South African Mint, balances tradition and modernity. The springbox depiction is dynamic and detailed, showcasing muscle tone, leap, and grace, a celebration of South Africa's wildlife. The font used for 2 Rand on the reverse is clean yet bold, emphasizing simplicity with elegance. Collectors are especially keen to examine the edge of the coin, which is milled with fine ridges. Any irregularities here, from doubled edges to missing milling, can be the hallmark of an error coin, exponentially increasing its desirability. And what about the mintage numbers? Officially, millions of 2 Rand coins were produced in 2004. However, collectors speculate that among these millions, certain batches with slight die variations or subtle errors were extremely limited. These batches might never have been documented publicly, making their discovery the stuff of legends within numismatic forums and auctions. There's an electrifying buzz in online collecting communities whenever a new find is reported. Stories emerge of collectors stumbling upon what they initially thought was a standard 2004 Rand coin, only to realize it carried a rare die crack, a shifted mint mark, or an unusual language inscription. Such discoveries often lead to professional grading, where coins are carefully examined, authenticated, and assigned grades that can elevate their market value dramatically. To illustrate, take the story of a collector in Johannesburg who, in 2021, found a 2004 Rand coin in a dusty box inherited from his grandfather. At first, he thought nothing of it, just a coin among many. But on closer inspection, he noticed the springbox horns appeared unusually sharp, and the lettering on the edge was slightly thicker than normal. After sending it to a professional grading service, it returned with a high grade and was identified as a rare die variety, instantly turning this humble coin into a prized collector's item. These anecdotes underscore a critical point. The value of the 2004 Rand coin isn't just about rarity or condition, but about the stories and mysteries that each coin holds. For collectors, this makes every coin a potential treasure chest. But how can you identify such a coin? Start by examining your 2 Rand coins closely. Look for any inconsistencies in lettering, in design details, in edge milling. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to inspect the fine details. Check the language on the coin. Does it differ from the majority in your collection? Remember, the South African Mint rotated official languages annually on coins, so some inscriptions are far rarer than others. If you spot something unusual, the next step is professional grading. Services like PCGS or NGC have the expertise to verify authenticity and condition, often unlocking tremendous value for coins that meet rare criteria. It's important to note that coin collecting is as much about passion as it is about potential profit. The 2004 South African 2 Rand coin is a testament to that. It's a piece of history, a work of art, and a challenge for collectors to find and preserve. Now let's zoom out a bit and consider the broader market for South African coins. In recent years, there has been a surge in interest worldwide for African numismatics, driven by growing appreciation for the continent's rich history and cultural diversity. South African coins, in particular, have become highly prized due to their iconic designs and the country's pivotal role in modern history. The 2004 2 Rand coin sits at a fascinating crossroads. It's modern enough to be familiar to many, but rare enough in its variations to intrigue the most seasoned collectors. The potential for discovering a high-grade error or rare language version makes it a thrilling hunt. Top 2. We're unveiling a coin so deceptively ordinary, yet so historically rich and shockingly rare that it might just blow your mind. Imagine digging through an old jar of coins or flipping through a forgotten album in your drawer, and suddenly you're holding something that could be worth millions of dollars. That's right. The 1990 South African 2 Rand coin has stunned collectors around the world, with some specimens estimated to hold multi-million-dollar value due to their rarity, historical context, and unexpected minting secrets. This isn't just any coin. This is a relic from a pivotal moment in South Africa's evolution. And today, we're going to unpack its legacy, its design, the mystery behind its value, and most importantly, why you need to check your coin collection right now. So don't blink, because what might seem like loose change could turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Let's start on the surface, the physical details. The 1992 Rand coin was crafted with a distinct metallic composition, nickel-plated copper, giving it a silvery hue with a subtle golden undertone after years of circulation. It has a diameter of 23 millimeters and weighs roughly 5.5 grams, a perfect balance of durability and practicality. This coin was built to last, yet, ironically, the few that have lasted in pristine condition are now turning out to be some of the most valuable coins from South Africa's transitional era. The obverse of the coin features the elegant coat of arms of South Africa, used during the apartheid era, crowned by the words South Africa, in one of the country's 11 official languages. Depending on the variant, the inscription could appear in English, Afrikaans, or even other indigenous languages, rotated annually. Collectors are especially on the lookout for rare language variants. For instance, a Zulu-inscribed 1990 coin with a unique edge or die crack is considered a numismatic gem. Now, flip it over to the reverse, and here you meet the icon, the graceful kudu, one of Africa's most majestic antelopes. Captured mid-stride with muscular realism and elegance, the kudu was more than an artistic choice. It was a symbol of strength, agility, and national identity. Below it sits the bold numeral 2 and the word Rand, simple at first glance, but as we always say here on Coin Explorer, it's not just what's printed that matters, it's how it's printed. And that's where things get fascinating. Let's roll back the clock to 1990. South Africa was at the cusp of monumental change. After decades of apartheid rule, global political pressure, and internal unrest, Nelson Mandela had been released from prison just that year. The country was preparing for a seismic political shift, and the 1992 Rand was minted right in the middle of this upheaval. In numismatic history, coins minted during transitional eras tend to carry enormous value, not just for their metal, but for what they represent. The 1992 Rand is exactly that. It is a metallic snapshot of a nation on the edge of rebirth, with apartheid policies still technically in place, but the resistance movement gaining unstoppable momentum. Every symbol from that era became part of a historic record. This coin, struck in that critical year, is one of those rare artifacts. But here's the twist. Unlike commemorative coins that were announced and promoted, this one was circulated like any other coin. No ceremony, no collector's edition box, no glossy pamphlet, just everyday money, which makes its current value and mystique even more mind-blowing. Now you might be wondering, why is it worth so much? That's where the whispers of the minting world come in. According to collectors and South African numismatic insiders, there were irregularities in the 1992 Rand minting process. While official mintage numbers were released, a subset of coins appeared to have subtle die variations. Some coins showed off-centered strikes, irregular spacing between characters, or small cracks around the edge, all indicators of a limited or faulty strike batch, often highly prized by collectors. There were even reports of proof-like finishes showing up in ordinary circulation, something that should never happen. Could it be that the South African Mint accidentally released a trial batch? Or were there experimental dies tested that year that weren't supposed to enter public hands? Whatever the case, these mysterious specimens began surfacing quietly in global auctions, and their value kept rising with each confirmed find. In 2022, one such coin, featuring a slight rotation error on the obverse coat of arms, was authenticated by a leading grading authority and classified as extremely rare. It went under the hammer for a six-figure amount, and that's just the beginning. Now let's dive into one of the most legendary stories surrounding this coin. In 2023, a South African expatriate living in New Zealand found a 1992 Rand in a childhood coin album. It had sat untouched for decades. Upon examination, it displayed a double die error, a faint doubling of the letters on the reverse side. Skeptical but curious, he sent it to a grading agency. The result? MS-69 grading, nearly flawless. A shock to the owner. The story quickly caught fire in collector forums. Experts from Europe and the US began dissecting the images, and soon it was dubbed the Mandela Year Ghost Coin, referring to its rarity and proximity to the year of Mandela's release. That single coin? Estimated at over $1 million by private collectors. Not bad for something pulled from an old childhood album. So what should you look for? If you own a 1990 South African 2 Rand, here are some specific things that might make it extraordinarily valuable. Minting errors. Look for die cracks, misalignments, or doubling of letters and numerals. Proof-like surfaces. Highly reflective finishes on a circulated coin may indicate test strikes. Language rarity. The country name in a less common language, like Xhosa or Tswana, can increase value. Edge variations. Smooth versus reeded edges, or inconsistencies along the coin's edge. Condition. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are exceptionally rare and exponentially more valuable. Remember, even one of these traits can boost value. But if your coin has 2 or more, you might just be holding one of the most coveted coins in modern South African numismatic history. Let's talk numbers, but not exact ones. While we never assign exact values here on Coin Explorer to avoid misleading viewers, multiple authenticated 1992 Rand coins with rare variations have fetched amounts well into the millions of dollars. And as more collectors enter the African coin market, demand continues to surge. It's not just about scarcity. It's about the story, the condition, and the historical context. This coin isn't merely an object. It's a gateway to a complex past, a revolution in the making, and a legacy that continues to inspire. That's why people are willing to spend fortunes to own just one. They're not just buying a coin, they're buying a piece of time. And let's not forget the grading process. Getting your coin graded can be a total game changer. Agencies like PCGS and NGC evaluate not just condition, but authenticity, rarity, and strike details. A raw 1992 Rand might catch a few $100s online, but a properly graded specimen with a known error could skyrocket in value. In fact, grading has become the deciding factor for auction prices. Coins once thought to be ordinary have turned into gold mines simply because someone took the time to grade and document them. It's like discovering a hidden diamond in your own pocket. Check your coins. Check your parents' old change drawers. Flip through that inherited coin folder. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. The 1990 South African 2 Rand is more than metal. It's potentially life-changing. But more than that, it's a reminder of what makes numismatics so thrilling. The chase, the mystery, the hidden history, the chance that, among billions of coins in circulation, you might just hold the one that the world's been looking for. Thanks for joining us on this unforgettable journey into the world of rare currency. If this story inspired you, amazed you, or made you want to dig through your coin stash, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like, and don't forget to share this video with friends and fellow collectors. Here at Coin Explorer, we're on a mission to uncover the untold stories behind the world's most mysterious coins. And always remember, sometimes what looks like ordinary change is actually priceless history. Keep hunting, keep exploring. And who knows, your next coin might just be the one that changes everything.